Hi, Judith. I just watched your video on non-lethal weapon technology and military and peacekeeping operation. I think you know what you're looking at. I think you're on the right track. I have a couple suggestions, maybe a couple ideas that could help your project out. One thing I'm just going to say is don't forget to actually, I know you probably will, but don't forget to actually talk about the technology that non-lethal weapon technology that's actually used in the peacekeeping operations and military operation, stun guns, gas, whatever, all that stuff. You could also maybe address, I don't know what the exact definition of non-lethal weapons is, but if I was to say a non-lethal weapon could be something like military drones or satellite. While they don't exactly physically hit people, they're used in surveillance, and surveillance is a huge thing, is a huge weapon that can allow for less violent operations. Satellites can overlook an enemy and give people an idea of how they can go in and stop something from happening in the most peaceful way possible. You could maybe talk about that if that's relevant to your not topic. Also, weapons don't always have to come in the forms of guns, remember. You could talk about stuff that the military or peacekeeping operations use to stop, to keep the peace. Things such as roadblocks and spike strips are different ways police and military demobilize vehicles and other moving objects without using deadly force. So you don't just have to talk about guns like that. You could also maybe find some stats on success rates or statistics of different operations in which deadly force was used and non-lethal force was used, and the amount of backlash or deaths that occurred from each. This would provide you with tables and charts and graphs. It'd also give a lot of insight into your project, since you want to show that non-lethal weapons should be used more than deadly force. And I bet you could find a ton of information comparing different operations that were successful or different failures and why they were each. Another thing, there are always conflicts going on, so you got plenty of information out there. It may be too soon to talk about this type of technology, but maybe you could investigate the current conflict going on in Libya and the Middle East in general. I know the Middle East is on edge right now, and they're trying to keep the peace the best they can, but the rebels are just taking over, basically. It might be too early to have research or peer-reviewed sources on that type of topic, but maybe you could learn some of the methods or ways that the government is trying to keep the peace without actually using deadly force on its people. Another good example was in Egypt. You could maybe look at the reasoning behind why the soldiers didn't attack the protesters, even though they were ordered to. That's non-lethal right there. That's all I got for you. I wish you luck. I think you're actually on the right track. You have a pretty straightforward project, so it's hard to critique it, but just don't forget to actually talk about the specific technologies involved, and I think you're going to have a good project. You could also talk about future research, too. You could talk about what the future holds for technology in this of non-lethal weapon. So good luck.